Because friendship, I think it has to be very strong with a lot of trust. And sometimes it's hard to trust people. So to me, it's really hard to find a good friendship. And sometimes I try to open myself with another person, but it's really hard. I don't know how to find a good friend. I try sometimes really hard to be nice, but sometimes be nice doesn't mean you're a friendship. I mean, it's not a friendship. You can have a lot of co-workers, but it's different than friendship. And it's a good thing to have a good friendship with at least somebody who you can trust, you can talk any kind of problems that you have. But to me, I don't know about you, sometimes there's a lot of people that they're just jealous. I don't know, maybe, I don't know how to explain it, but it's really hard. Thank you.
Who is your best friend forever?
Ladies and gentlemen, you must have all heard this saying, a friend in need is a friend indeed. So what that actually means is, you may have a lot of friends in your life, but you know, we all go through difficult times. And if one of your friends could come and help you during those times, that defines real friendship. So, talking about my best friend, I'm very glad that I've had a lot of good friends throughout my life. And talking about my best friend is someone whom I've known right from my first standard. And the best part is, he is there with me in the United States, working in an office very close to mine. So it's really great when we meet up, we cherish our old moments, we talk about the things we did. And the best part is, okay, growing up, we have been with each other, we have helped each other, we know a lot about each other and all those things. But the weird part that I feel in my day-to-day life is when I interact with other people, like not whom I have made friends right from the beginning of my lifetime. It's very difficult to attach with them. I don't know, maybe because people want to make friendship for favors or whatever it is. But yes, I'm really glad that my best friend is here and we still cherish all the moments that we have had. Thank you.
Your best moments with your friend. You want to come? Gary.
Sure, I'll go. So, what's the word of the day, by the way? Is it first friendship?
Best moments with your friend.
Friendship, yeah.
Friendship? Okay.
Friendship or friend?
Either one.
Any.
Sure. So, I want to talk a little bit about one of the best moments I've had with my best friend. He was in my wedding party 5 years ago, and now he is overseas in New Zealand. So we can't really see each other as often, but I'll still remember the best moments of my friend that I had in the past. So before I was married, and when I was single and swingling, I had a friend named Simon, and Simon was one of my closest friends. I recall back in the day that on Friday nights and even 3 times a week, we used to always go to 24-hour fitness. So he's a big swimmer. He used to swim in high school and college. I can't really swim, to be honest with you, so I just started learning and picking it up over at the Fremont American Swim Academy. But we would always go in the pool, swim laps, for me, half a lap, call it a day, and then just work out, hit the gym. But after working out, we would always, I recall, just going to the smoothie bar in the 24-hour fitness super sport over at Brokaw and just sip on a smoothie and just talk life, you know, how things going, calling each other out if there's something that we don't like about each other. You know, that's one thing about true friendship that we always had a good relationship about. So we're not afraid about being around the bush, you could say. And we just did life together in a way, such as doing Bible studies or just to encourage one another. So those are good times and best moments I recall with Simon. Thank you.
What are the qualities of your best friend? Who want to try?
Satish.
Well, first let me start by briefly describing my best friend, who is my wife. And so she is, we've been married for about 15 years. Actually, last month we finished our 15th wedding anniversary. And as a friend, I think one of the things and she does very well for me, is being there when I need her, right? Being, trying to anticipate and understand what's going on in my life, and really be there when it's needed. Whether it is being humorous when things are down, or understanding something that's troubling me and trying to help me through that phase. She's been there for me as one of the best friends, you know, you can have. The other thing that's been a big part of my life is Toastmasters. I've done my CCNCL and doing other things now. And, you know, we have young kids at home. She's the one who, you know, I'm here with you. And she's the one who's looking after the kids, doesn't complain one bit, and says that, you know, the interest is mine that I want to pursue, and she's there to support. I'm a big marathoner, and she's, you know, doesn't seem that way, but I've run many marathons across the world, and you know, so she tries to be there for me all the time. And sacrifice, I think, is a big part of being a great friend, and also sharing happiness, having a great sense of humor, understanding each other, and being supportive. So, thank you.
Do you think Friendship Day is special day?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Do you think Friendship Day is special day? Means you want to celebrate on that day itself, whatever you think you can.
For my friend?
What?
For my friend?
Oh, the day.
No. Means it's a special day. You are celebrating particular day. Is a Friendship Day, right? Is that necessary? Whatever you need, you will take leave. Is the special day? If you want, I will change another question.
Sorry.
What things you share and what things you hide from your friend? Is it difficult?
Oh, yeah, but I can. I try.
Otherwise, tell me your vacation with friend.
Oh, I will do the second one.
Okay.
Yes, for the friendship, it shouldn't be hide something between the real friend. That is my theory. But if somebody insists on me to show what is the thing that we have to hide between my best friend and me, is that in case we have the one woman that we like together, in that case, maybe I could hide something to get the woman that I like. Other than that, yes, there should be nothing to hide from with my best friend. Thank you.
Your vacation with friend, anyone? You.
So the question was, talk
Vacation
about a
with your
vacation. Okay.
friend.
So my best friend's name is Evan. We've been friends ever since high school, maybe like sophomore year. He moved to Fremont from Texas, so he actually didn't have that many friends when he came. And it was through another friend that we got to know each other, and right away we clicked. I would go to his house, or our whole group would go to his house or my house every Friday, every weekend. So that was like the foundation, was we would just go to our houses and hang out. That was before, everyone had smartphones and Facebook. We would still chat through AIM. But fast forward to college, we went to different colleges, but we stayed really close, and we would actually go visit each other at college. And then he went to UC Davis and I went to UCLA. So when I moved back home to the Bay Area, so many of my college friends are still down in SoCal. So I ended up making all of my new friends up here from his friends at UC Davis. So he's been really great to me my whole life. So many of my friends I've met through him, and he now moved to Seoul in Korea, and he's not even Korean. So my best friend isn't even here, but many of my friends are friends that I made through him. And then on to vacations. It's crazy that we met in high school, but actually so many of my vacations have been with him. We've gone to, one of my first international trips was with him. We went to China, Taiwan. We've pretty much been through all of Asia together. Like, we did Vietnam for a whole month, where we just took a train and went through the entire country and like hiked into the mountains and into the caves. I think going on vacations are huge for friendships, because you struggle together, you don't know the language, you're eating crazy stuff. It's like the best stuff you could be doing with your friend, and it's memories that you can talk about like with your friend later in life. Hopefully he moves back and we'll be able to talk about our trips, and we both just continue to grow on our own, and when we come back together, the friendship is like no time has passed. Thank you.
How is best friend different from a family?
My name is Vishal. So I was going through all the topics that you gave me, and I didn't really have much to say about a lot of those, but this one definitely rings a bell in my mind. And it does ring a bell because recently I was fortunate enough to have a very good friend come back into my life, closer to where I am. I had a friend as I was growing up from at school, and we went to school pretty much every day together. We'd hang out over the weekends. This was before college. In college we parted ways, and then recently he and I are closer to each other, a few miles away. When he called me, it was a shock initially. I did not know how to respond, and I was happy, of course, but it took me a while switching contexts, going back all these years, and then finding out how I feel about it. And the one thing that he made me feel was I don't have to think about anything at all, or how it would sound, before I talk to him. With family, that's true for family. That's true with family for the most part. But it's like if the food's not great tasting today, you wouldn't call your wife and say that it's horrible. You would think about it, word it, and then let her know that this is what I feel. But with a friend, I mean, if he's wearing some pants I find they're crazy, I would let him know, and that would be okay. And I think that's what I think is different between a friend and a family, is you don't have to have a translation of what you think. You can just talk what is in your mind. Thank you.
If you come across your friend unexpectedly, try. If you go somewhere to meet your old friend unexpectedly,
You met your friend unexpectedly somewhere.
somewhere,
What
yeah,
do you do? What
your
do you
old friend after long
How
years.
did you
Otherwise,
feel?
I will change question.
Can I talk something? Whatever I want.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
and I think friendship is a very wide definition, and I want to talk several friends of myself during several years. And first friend I want to talk about is a girl, a classmate in my university. The first time we get together, we want to hang out and study together because we think we are all not picky girls. So we always be together, and after we graduate, we work together in the same city, and we solve a lot of problems when we first come to work. And after 2 years later, he come back to his hometown, so we separate from each other. And the second friend I want to talk about is my manager in my last work, and he is it is a farming company. He is in charge of the planting and productivity, and I'm in charge of the marketing and sales. The reason why I take him as my best friend is we support each other a lot because we want to we want to produce organic fruit, the special kind is goat. I don't know. Maybe many in American don't know this fruit, and it is a blank market in China. So we have to encourage each other a lot. And the third friend is my husband. Now I come to America here. I have no other friends, so I have to be on the same boat with my husband. And now we have the same goals, and to make my family become better. And in my opinion, friendship is someone come together with you and spend and give you courage and spend very warm time together. And whatever you are together or not, if they can give you warm memories, it can be your best friend. That's all. Thank you.
Did you ever lose a friend?
Thank you. Have I ever lost a friend? Well, a couple weeks ago, I was in the mall, and my friend went away. I couldn't find him. I went through the mall. Turns out he's in the food court eating meal. But what about a serious friend? I'm fortunate to say that none of my really close friends have ever disappeared from my life entirely. They're all somewhere in the world, accessible through my phone, Facebook, or Snapchat. But the sad thing is I do know some friends who I didn't get really close to, so they were really strong acquaintances of mine, but for some reason or another, they passed away. And these are probably the saddest things that's ever happened to me, because I looked at someone who is very similar to me. We grew up in the same town. We were the same age. We all had the same possible bright futures, but their stars burned out early. I wonder, what would their life be if they could live? Would they have kids? Would they have a family? So I look to myself and I think, how blessed are we to be here today, to be with everybody? And I'm glad that, at least as far as I'm concerned, all of my best friends are still with me today. Thank you.
One time. Who is your best friend forever? One time.
My name is Jun Huang. My best friend is my previous coworker. Her name is Emily. We know, I think 7 years ago. She's younger than me, but I feel she know how to live her life fully, like better than me. And she before I did not like exercising, but she always asked me to go to hiking with her, and during the weekend she asked me to do the go to gym with her, and she's very open to me and talk to me everything she encountered in her life. I think I need to improve myself, because I'm a person very difficult to open my heart. Even I think she's my best friend. I don't tell her everything I encounter in my life. So I think, yeah, I need to open my heart, open to her more. Thank you.